Season 1 of Marvel Rivals came with 2 brand new maps. Today I'm taking a look at Sanctum Santorum, the home of Doctor Strange, and all the Easter eggs and even some possible hints to future heroes that are hidden on this extremely surprising map. Let's have a look. Earlier this week I did a video on that other new map, Midtown, and all of the Easter eggs that were hidden on there. Thank you guys for all your comments on that video. It seems you guys found quite a few extra Easter eggs on that map. And I also was wrong about the Hellstorm reference. As you guys pointed out, it is actually the logo of the Hellfire Club, which had a wide range of members including Emma Frost, who is being hinted at as one of the future heroes for Marvel Rivals, including on the map that we're looking at today. Now, the Sanctum map is rather small, but it is very confusing. And it is used for Doom Match, which is basically free-for-all deathmatch. It has a ton of portals and rifts that will transport you all over that rather small map instantly. It has an outside part, which is of course Bleecker Street, and the Sanctum itself, the home of Doctor Strange, who seems to be stuck on the astral plane after shenanigans that the Dooms pulled off. Now outside you can find that Emma Frost reference I was talking about, the Frost International building. There is also, weirdly enough, a temple for Khonshu, the Egyptian god and, I don't know, let's call him patron of Moon Knight. Is it patron? Moon Knight is basically his avatar. And that is not the only Moon Knight reference on that map. There's also this Moon Knight spray, and the limo that you can see outside of the Sanctum is actually owned by Moon Knight. Well, Mark Spector. Well, see, Mark Spector, the current Moon Knight, has dissociative identity disorder. And one of his alter egos is Jack Lockley, a cab driver that drives this limo with the Spectre license plate, and that has his finger on the pulse of the criminal underground. You could call him an informant. We can also see that kind of sus spray that I found on Midtown, and a Cobra spray, which might hint at King Cobra. Maybe. I also found this bus with this weird kind of code on the side. I'm not sure. I don't really know what this means. It could be just an error or something, or I don't know. But most of the Easter eggs on this map can be found in the Sanctum. And as I said, this place is a complicated mess in the best way possible. It can get very confusing. Now, the back part of the mansion seems to be ripped apart by the ripping of the chronoverse, which causes a lot of these gravity issues all over the map. Seriously, in some spots it's starting to look like an Escher lithograph, with the stairs going in all directions and whatnot. Yeah, that stuff freaks me out, man. There's also a magic staircase that if you start climbing it will eventually just get you back where you started. It is a very creative Easter egg that required some smart coding and loading. If you go back and forth, you can kind of see how they pulled it off. But I love that detail. It's kind of cool. Within that chaos in the back of the house, you can also see Gargantos floating around, the big octopus. Or you might call him Shumagorath if you want to get sued. The big squid. And you can also immediately spot the reason why he is so angry. Or they are so angry. She is so angry. I don't know. But all over the kitchen and the dining table there are parts and dishes made out of what I presume is octopus. There's even one trying to escape the freaking fridge. Yeah, that would get me upset too. Downstairs in the entrance hall you might spot this painting of Doctor Strange and his dog. His spectral basset hound, Bats. And Bats is also roaming around the entrance hall himself. He's such a good boy. Now, in the comics, Bats is a dog that Stephen Strange adopted at some point. It's a long story. And he can actually translate barks to English, thanks to a spell that Doctor Strange put on him. Now, how he ended up becoming a Spectre is a long story, and I'm going to try and explain it later in this video, because there's something else on this map that refers to that. Now, if you start roaming around, you'll run into a lot of other paintings, and to be fair, a lot of them are of Doctor Strange. Like I said in my previous videos, these guys, man, these superheroes definitely like to look at themselves. A little too much. But Strange also has a portrait up of Wong, his friend and fellow sorcerer that at one point becomes the Sorcerer Supreme. In this painting, he is definitely depicted as that Wong that we know from the MCU, because the Wong from the comics is slightly different. There's also a portrait of Zelma Stanton, a librarian from the Bronx who was treated by Doctor Strange and saved basically after she got infected with mind maggots. Yeah, that's just nasty. Mind maggots? Ugh. And then there's the pièce de résistance, the treasure room. Man, there's so many objects in this hall alone. Whew. All of these artifacts are tied into Doctor Strange, and some of them are really deep cuts. I had to do some research to find out what some of these were. But let me start out with an easy one. This staff, the Yggdrasil staff. It is kind of what I talked about earlier, the story on how Bats became a spectral dog. See, at some point, Loki manages to become the Sorcerer Supreme. And Stephen Strange, of course, tries to confront him about this. Now Loki attacks him, Bats tries to get in the middle of that and defend his master, but Loki puts up a shield and ends up killing Bats. Not good. There's plenty of movies out there that show you that you should not kill a man's dog. Now after all of that, Strange travels to Asgardia, and he ends up donating or sacrificing Bat's corpse to Yggdrasil. He didn't have anything else to sacrifice. In return, he got this staff to fight Loki. Now, later on, Loki and Doctor Strange made up, and Loki was very regretful about the fact that he killed Bats. Now, I'm not 100% certain about this, but I think it is Loki that brought back Bats to kind of make up for it, but in a spectral form. In one of the cabinets, there's also this cloak, which is not the cloak of levitation, in my opinion. I mean, I think Doctor Strange is wearing the cloak of levitation, and I think it used to be in this other cabinet that seems to be broken open. This cloak has a hood and is not red. So if you have any idea what this cloak is, let me know in the comments, because I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. There is the Scroll of Atum that Doctor Strange uses to control the Wind of Atum. There also is the Wand of Atum, another magic relic. I think Wong actually uses it in one of the MCU movies. There is of course the Book of Vishanti, which is basically Doctor Strange's main spellbook. There's the Sword of Vishanti, which is kind of a burning scimitar, I think they call it. We can see Doctor Strange summon it when he's fighting Thanos in the Avengers movies. Now it seems that Doctor Strange is kind of fond of weapons, because he has quite a few of them. He also has Dragon Fang, a sword forged from the tusk of a dragon. And it is one of the deadliest swords in all of the Marvel Universe. That sounds like a really fancy sword. This is the Axe of Angurumus. Definitely the weapon with the most difficult name to remember and write out. There's a lot of double syllables and whatever. But he found this axe in the center of the moon. Go figure. That's a nice place to keep your axe. He also has this rock with a pattern on top of it that looks like a chessboard. I don't know if that is something meaningful or just kind of a nudge at his love for chess. There's the cabinet that holds his third eye, which is basically the Eye of Agamotto in flesh. And right in front of the legendary Window of the Worlds is the Orb of Agamotto and the Brazier of Bom-Galeat. Two very important artifacts. But it is kind of crazy to see all of this stuff in just one place. This map is just brimming with Easter eggs. It's insane how much they packed in here. And I love it. The level of detail, the level of love they put in this map is amazing. Look, I'm not a big fan of that game mode, but I'm definitely a fan of this map. But tell me, what else have you found on this map, and which is your favorite Easter egg? Let me know in the comments. For now, however, that was it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It always helps me out. I also want to thank our members. We could not make these videos without you guys. You too can join the DMZ family by becoming a member right here on YouTube. If you have a few minutes left, maybe check out one of my other videos. But above all, make sure to subscribe, because I'm going to be back with a new video very soon. Till then, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye bye.